Okay. There. Should now have it so that it shows that I'm playing Fate. I can't tell what's too loud for the mic or not. Eh. Check. Yeah, why is the chat not working? Double check. Yeah, weird. I don't know why my chat's not working, because I know my other thing is working. Huh. If I do this. I'll give myself another 3 minutes to figure this out. If not, I'm just gonna say I'll try to figure it out later. At least I can now read chat on the right. Yeah, that works. That works. Why isn't the chat there? Oh well. Oh well, oh well, oh well. I'll just need to mess with it more tomorrow before I start running around as boomer shooters. There we go. BGM off. Front down. Sweet. There we go. Hello and welcome. Today I will be playing some Fate Stay Night. This is going to be like a religious experience for me because I've been very into Fate most of my life. And I cannot explain how long I've been playing the gacha. Saints Courts. Anyway. Of course, I got into like the anime when I was on Netflix when I was like in middle school? High school? I don't remember. Anyway. So, it's now time to actually see where all of this began. Is there any way I can move my... Oops. Technical difficulties, do not worry. There we go, nothing happened. The tip of the spear was like a flash of lightning. A spearhead thrust to skewer the heart. Even attempting to evade it was pointless. It was but a flash, too swift for the human eye to follow. And yet, moonlight swept in to save me from the strike that threatened to end me. The sound is beautiful, like the tolling of a bell. No, truth be told, the sound hung over me, heavier than an iron weight. This beauty had little to do with aesthetics. The stark armor wrapped about her was like the frozen night itself. The ringing was not in itself pleasant. It was the sound of steel. But the night herself was beautiful enough to make it into the chiming of a bell. I ask of you, are you my master? Saber! Ah! Her voice resonated in the darkness. I have come in response to your summons. Henceforth, I don't want to talk over Saber. Henceforth, my blade is with you, and your fate with me. Our pact is now sealed. Her voice resonated in the darkness. Oh wait, I hit Shift Z and was going backwards, okay. Indeed, the pact was sealed. Just as she chose to serve me. I'm sure in that moment that I swore to save her. The moonlight cut through the darkness. As if in imitation of the night, the storehouse regained its former calm. Time had stopped. The vision before me had lasted less than a second. Be that as it may. I always remember the sight of her as clearly as if it were still happening now, even if I fall into the depths of hell. The faint slant of her profile, her serene, divinely green eyes. For a moment, time stopped, and her silhouette draped in blue swayed in the wind. I was struck by the pale blue glow. Her hair, as fine as golden thread, was bathed in moonlight. Shiro, you are down bad. I can't blame you. It is Artoria. There's so many sabers. This happened 10 years ago. I see someone who takes me back. He's tall, with chiseled features. I have never known him to crack a joke. He ruffles my hair affectionately. No, That's not what this is. It's more like he's grasping my head and working it like a stubborn jar lid. Maybe he doesn't know how to control his strength. That's only to be expected. It's the first time he's ever done something like this. It's time for me to leave. You know what to do next. I answered, yes, in a somber voice. He nodded once, withdrew his hand, and stood up. That's all. Had I known this would be the last time we would ever see each other, I would have done my best to make him laugh with the perfect joke. I'd been practicing punchlines in private, in the hopes of finally seeing a smile crack that stony face. If I have one regret, it's that I never got to tell him any of my jokes. Get the association in your debt before you become an adult. Any decisions after that, I'll leave up to you. I'm sure you'll manage on your own. So he said, but I bet he was worried about me. He told me about our family heirloom jewels, the gems passed down to us from our Grand Master, and how to manage the underground workshop. It was a rapid-fire course of subjects he'd never taught me before. Even as a child, I realized that he would probably never come home again. There was a war. Not a war between countries, but between people. But in this war, there were only 7 combatants. It might not have seemed fitting to call it a war, but having mages involved changes things. 7 mages from different factions competed, but I wasn't sure why. They killed each other using methods I didn't really understand. One of them was the man in front of me. It meant that he would kill and eventually be killed. I'm sure he felt the ticking of his life's clock even more keenly than I did. God, I'm going to need a lot of water for this. Rin, before long, the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tosakas to obtain it, but above all, it is a path we are destined to walk as mages. And with that, he ruffled my hair one last time and left. I never saw him again. My father/teacher was one of the masters who participated in the Holy Grail War. He never came home. Why did my phone beep? Safe travels, father. I bid him farewell, as a well-behaved daughter should. I knew I was on the verge of tears, but I didn't let them show. I loved him. He was a great father and an even greater mage. Mages are stubborn people. As far as I knew, there wasn't a more upstanding man in the whole world. As my instructor, he trained me. As my father, he loved me. So I decided I'd accept the things he left for me and choose my own path. Rin, before long, the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tosakas to obtain it, but above all, it is a path we are destined to walk as mages. In the end, his final words for me were given as a mage, not a father. That's the moment I made up my mind. Alright, I guess I'd better do everything I can to become a worthy mage. It's only natural for an apprentice to live up to our master's hopes. That's how I, Rin Tosaka, grew up after experiencing life's twists and turns. It's been 10 years since my father went off to war. I wouldn't say I've been looking forward to this day, but I am a bit on edge. That goes without saying, after all. That moment which was burned into my memory 10 years ago will soon be upon me again. It is taking visible effort to not yawn when I speak. I'm having to remember to breathe between sentences, but I'm kind of figuring it out. Oh, come on, I was just taking a sip. How'd I disappear? Oh god, the alarms. I'm not ready for work. I hear something. Ring ring. Shut up. Stop. The noise doesn't stop. Yeah, you gotta break it. Such an infernal racket. It's almost as if it's here to avenge my father. What now? I was up late, just a little longer. I wish it just let me sleep a bit more. In fact, it should. I stayed up into the early hours deciphering my father's will, and I used a hell of a lot of magical energy to do it. I'm totally exhausted, body and mind. Good grief, cut me some slack, would ya? Ring ring, ring ring. The alarm clock is deaf to my complaints. Yeah, because you gotta beat it. You gotta beat it into submission, Rin. What kind of machine makes a noise that seems like its sole purpose is to remind you that you're late? Late? I can't be late. True, but there's a time and place for everything. No matter how much of an overachiever I am, I should try to make it to school on time, at least for today. If only slightly. Oh right, I set my alarm. No, hold on now. Alright, I set my alarm 30 minutes early, which means I should still be able to sleep another 30. That is not how that works. You gotta wake up early, and you gotta go. Doesn't that sound off? 30 minutes early. I peer at the alarm clock through sleep-heavy eyelids. The hands point to 7 o'clock on the dot. I usually get up at 6:30, which means I've completely used up my safety margin. So you wake up early. I do that too. Speaking of which, why is my brain so slow in the morning? You haven't had your caffeine. I glare at the alarm clock for several seconds. Finally, I shut off the alarm and climb sluggishly out of bed. I thought this was... I'm interested they were starting with Rin. The morning chill bites at me as I cross the hallway and enter the parlor. This is the final 7 a.m. in January. Winters in Fuyuki are relatively warm, but the mornings here are cold as anywhere. Even at home, my breath mists white. It's that much colder without anyone else living here. Heater. I turn on the heater and go wash up. Single living is so inconvenient at times like these. Be happy you're not in a studio apartment. If there was someone else here to wake up before me, then the parlor would already be heated. There's not going to be many people waking up before 6:30 a.m., Rin. I wash my face at the sink. I run a brush through my long hair and get dressed. A chilly morning in a frigid bathroom. The only thing to be said for it is that the cold water mercifully beats the sleepiness from me. I like cold showers. They're not too bad. With a final tug on the ribbon at my collar, I finish getting dressed. All that's left is to have breakfast and go to school. The clock reads just past 7, so my morning rush feels a bit anticlimactic. Oh, I don't even need to run then. Of course, I'd never do anything so uncouth as sprinting to school. I'm not a pleb. The Tosaka family motto dictates that we conduct ourselves with confidence and elegance at all times. I mean, he's silly for like 2 seconds and then I'll yawn. Oh god. My ancestors must have been some high and mighty aristocrats if that's what we've taught through the generations. The anachronistic mansion I live in is proof enough of that. Plus, the Tosakas are a line of spellweavers who practice what is known as magecraft. We're not just an old family. We have an admirably storied history. Not that it's anything to brag about. In fact, I literally can't talk about it. The truth is, I'm a mage. Who could I even brag about that to? As the name suggests, magecraft is what most normal people would see as magic. It sounds like some supernatural voodoo, and if you'd like to think of it as just wiggling your fingers and saying abracadabra, that's fine too. Just think of us as people who chant weird words and make equally weird stuff happen. That said, we don't fly around on broomsticks, we don't shoot stars out of our wands either. We do things kind of like that, but there's no point, so we don't. We're pretty much heretics who lurk in the shadows of society. We're not allowed to draw attention to ourselves, and anyone who has the time for that kind of thing would rather spend it on their research. Ordinary humans might call us magicians, but that would be wrong. In fact, there are only 5 magicians in the whole world. Magicians are what we call people who can do something no one else can. They can accomplish feats beyond the means of modern science and perform genuine miracles. Similarly, magic is the label we use for mystics. Magical mysteries that can't be realized with any amount of time or skill. While magecraft, though it looks mysterious, is something anyone can do with enough time and resources. I'm a mage, and the kind of mystics I use are merely magecraft, not true magic. Confusing, I know, but that's how it works. Also, modern civilization doesn't accept the existence of mages. We believe in, manipulate, and study things that can't be measured, which puts us at odds with modern society. Above all, there's no point to any of what we do. You'd be so much happier just going off to a normal school and becoming a normal adult than you would studying magecraft. Human technology has accomplished great things. For the last few centuries, magecraft has been playing catch-up to the progress of civilization. Nothing is impossible for humanity anymore. Miracles that could only be realized with magecraft in the distant past have been reduced to common tools and appliances. Even so, magecraft does have its benefits. Just as there are some things only science can accomplish, there remains heights only mystics can reach. If science is racing into the future, then mages are racing into the past. I think the Tosaka Grandmaster said that. Whether you're heading into the past or the future, your destination is the same. 0, or something like that. I don't know, I'm trying to sound smart. We can shelve the difficult topics for now. Philosophy is for the elderly. I finish my breakfast and pick up my bag. Alright, gotta bring my pendant. I'm reluctant to take something so valuable to school, but it would be a waste to leave it behind. I mean, this thing's 100 years old. It's by far the most powerful jewel we have. One could even say it is on an entirely different level. I obtained the gem after decoding my father's will last night. It's imbued with 10 years worth of my own magical energy. I've been told that the Tosaka family has heirloom jewels passed down since the olden days, and this might be one of them. Tosaka mages specialize at the conversion and flow of power. We channel our magical energy into precious gems whenever we have a spare moment. Simply put, I'm the gun, and the jewels are bullets. The other main thing I've learned, inherited from my father, is a magic crest engraved into my left arm. A magic crest is proof that I'm the heir to our lineage. It's like all the techniques of the Tosaka condensed into a tattoo. Can't let my guard down, even if it hasn't started yet. For now, I stow my pendant, my father's keepsake, in a pocket. It's my trump card. There's nothing I can't do with the power stored in there. It's 7:30. I'd better leave soon if I don't want to be late for school. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. I will butcher that German. I think it's German. Lock code 3. I weave energy into a brief foreign phrase. As a mage, I can't neglect the security of my home base. That still applies, even if I've never had so much as a single burglar, lost child, or stray cat wander into my home. Actually, I don't think the neighbors have ever even come over to say hello. That's fine with me, but why don't I ever get any stray cats around here? I look up at the mansion. It's been my home for over a decade. Koyuki is a strange city. One side of the intersection dividing the residential areas is filled with old samurai estates, while the side I'm on has an abundance of mansions built in European style. Apparently, a whole bunch of foreign families immigrated here long ago, but I've never seen a single foreigner around. There's even a cemetery for foreigners in Shinto, the new part of the city across the river. But it was built for the generation they immigrated here. Maybe Japan just didn't suit them. I make a mental note to ask the priest about it next time I visit the church. He's nothing if not full of boring trivia for sure. Shut up, birds. I had to take my headset off and be like, is that in-game or outside? To be fair, if it was outside, I'd be hearing sirens. Oh. Something feels off as soon as I step outside. That's weird. It's quieter than I thought. There's no trace of the typical morning bustle. At 7:30 in the morning, there would normally be students and workers on their daily commute. I guess it's just one of those days where you just want to break stuff. Maybe everyone slept in. It's unusually cold today, so everyone must be snuggled up in bed. They don't have the most comfortable chairs. It just works enough. Still, though. Even if that were true, it's strange that there isn't a single student on the street. At this time of day, you'd expect to see at least a school uniform or two. And yet, from where I'm standing, at the school gate, it looks like morning club activities are just starting up. Which can only mean... Oh, Tosaka, you're awfully early today. I knew it. With a light sigh, I turned to face the student who called out to me. Morning, sure is cold today. The girl who addresses me so casually is Ayako Mitsuzuri. She's my classmate in 2 Alpha, and she has quite a history. Morning, Mitsuzuri, and sorry for the weird question, but do you know what time it is? It's not even 7 yet. You still asleep or something? Now this is kind of the issue I would have if like I had like daylight savings happen overnight and I didn't think about it. So I woke up an hour early and then showed up to everything an hour earlier than expected. She waves her hand in front of my face, as if to ask if anybody's home. Ayako is one of my few friends, and she knows I'm not a morning person. She's probably figured out by now that I'm still not completely with it. The clocks at home are an hour ahead. All of them, apparently. I thought it was just my alarm clock, but the grandfather clock was off too. What's going on here? Daylight savings times. It's America infected your bedroom, your household, all of it. One of the most pointless things that ever existed. Father must have set the clocks to go haywire once I took the pendant out of the underground cellar. That'd be rude. And kind of pointless. But sure, let's go with that. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Are you on your way to morning practice, Mitsuzuri? I was curious. I thought it was, but I still had to Google. Just in case. Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of troublemakers in the Kyoto Club. And we're done one of our best shooters. We need to put on a good show if we're going to attract first years in April. Man. I didn't have anything like an archery club in school. That would have been so fun. Anyway, though, there's your context for what Kyoto is. If you didn't know what it was previously. I didn't. I was curious, though, so I had to look it up. I see. Sounds rough. That's rough, buddy. Way to show you care. Oh, wanna come see? I'm sure the boys would love to know you're watching. The Kyoto Club, huh? I'm acquainted with 3 of its members. One is Ayako, the girl I'm talking to now. I barely ever speak to the other 2. One of those latter 2, there's one that I actually can't explain away as simply an acquaintance. I became friends with Ayako, the club captain, because I've been watching the club from afar. Okay, as long as it's just watching, I'll come. It's not like I have anything else to do this early in the morning. Nice. Then let's get going. One of our school's trademarks is its well-equipped archery range. The chair of the school board has a passion for Kyoto, traditional Japanese archery, so they built a magnificent range on campus. It's kind of a waste for a high school club, to be honest. Come on, let's go. There's still time before practice starts, so I'll get you some tea. Ayako tugs on my arm, looking somewhat pleased. If I'm being honest, her brusque way of speaking is a bad habit. As Ayako said, there's no one else at the range. We sip Japanese tea that's so hot it numbs my tongue as we prepare ahead for today's classes. Doesn't explain what tea you're drinking, though. The hot drink is delicious in the quiet, wintry archery range.
そっちの調子はどうなのよ、遠坂。いい加減頼りになる相棒は見つかった？
Okay, I'll get right down to it. What's up with you today, Tosaka? Did you finally reel in someone good? And she uses the occasion to ask me something completely ridiculous.
ほんと、いきなり本題に入るのね、あなたは。
Whew, you're just getting straight to it today,
その言いぶりだと、そっちはもう見つけたんだ。
Should I take that tone to mean you beat me to the punch?
ノーコメント。遠坂が手を沸かすまではこっちも秘密さ。え、どうなのよ。その疲れた顔を見ると脈ありって感じだけど。
No comment. If you're not showing your cards, then neither am I. So, how about it? If you're being so tired, is there anything to go by? I bet I'm right on the mark. If only.
こっちもノーコメント。あなたに隠してもどうせ見抜かれるか。残念ながらこっちはまだよ。
No comment either. But I guess even if I tried to hide it, you'd see right through me. Sadly, not yet. You nerds are still in high school? It's fine. It's fine. You could be in your mid-20s and still, not. Anyway.
綾子の方はお互いのんびりしてる余裕はないはずだけど。
What about you? Can you really afford to take your time on the romantic front? Yes. Yes, you
そう
can.
なんだけど。私も雲行きは怪しいわ。とりあえず取り繕うことはできるけど、ことがことでしょ。この先の命運がかかってるんだから、妥協するわけにもいかないし。
You know, you're not wrong. Things aren't looking too good. Sure, I could grab someone just for appearances, but quality matters. I shouldn't compromise when my future's on the line. Yes, do not. No. It's bad. Bad idea. Very bad. If you're gonna get stuck with someone for a long time, you better pick the right person.
勝手に決めて私に負けるのもね。
Uh-huh. Are you worried that you'll make the wrong choice and lose to me?
もちろん。私にとって重要なのはあんたを任すことだもの。何が手に入るとか何を手に入れるとかは二の次よ。
Obviously, the important thing here is that you lose to me. What I actually gain in the process is secondary, really. Oh, your poor man. Oh, that's... She chuckles confidently.
似た者同士ね、私たち。
Ha! We're two peas in a pod.
ねえ、初めて会った時に言ったでしょ。あんたとはそういう関係にあるんだ。
Yeah, I told you when we met that this is what it'd be like between us. She did, didn't she? Kill or be killed. I'm sure that's how it'll be between the two of us. I was genuinely surprised to have someone say that right off the bat. Translation. Keikaku means plan. Our friendship won't bloom unless we're constantly trading blows, is what Ayako was getting at. I agreed with her. In the 2 years since then, I still haven't figured out whether she's my friend or my nemesis.
ところでさ、私たちなんでこんな話してるんだっけ？
How did we get on this again?
なんでって言い出したのは遠坂でしょ。
What? You started it, Tosaka.
あんたがいつまでも彼氏がいないのは女としてどうよなんてこぼすもんだから。なら3年になる前にどっちが先に男作るかって勝負になったんじゃない。
You complained that you did never have a boyfriend, so we decided to make it a contest to see who catches one first, remember?
ああ、そうだった。売り言葉に買い言葉ってやつだった。で、遅れを取った方が一日言いなりになるんだっけ？
Ah, right, that was the deal. We said that whoever loses has to do whatever the winner says for a day, right?
ええ、今時 時子供でも交わさない約束だけど、あんたと私に限って往生際が悪いってことはないでしょ。
Yep, I don't think even kids make deals like this anymore. But we're both sore losers.
どんな結果になろうと、負けた方はおとなしく勝者に従うことになる。
No matter
それを思うと私は今から楽しみで楽しみで。
no matter what happens, the loser has to honor the deal. Gotta say, I'm looking forward to winning. Ayako snickers in delight. My goodness. How rude. Ayako Mitsuzuri is, to put it mildly, a handful. I'll admit, I'm looking forward to winning myself, so that goes for us both.
けど三つさん、楽しむのは結構だけど、目的を違えないよう気をつけなさい。勝負の内容は後先だけじゃないでしょ。
I see, but Mitsuzuri, you can look forward to the future. Don't lose sight of the goal. There's more to our contest than being first to the finish.
分かってるって。遠坂より早く、遠坂が心底羨ましがるような関係にならないと、完全勝利とは言えないからね。
I know, it's not a real victory unless it's a relationship that makes you green with envy.
ま、私たちにとってはそれが一番厄介な問題なんだが、どんなにいい男だろうと、好きになれなきゃ意味がない。
That's the biggest challenge for us both. Though it doesn't matter how great of a guy he is, we can't bring ourselves to love him. Real shit, you just can't make it work sometimes. Ayako's sigh is heavy. From what I heard, she's known as a bit of a misandrist. Can't put too much stock in gossip, though. That she made this bet at all means less that she doesn't like boys and more that she hasn't found the right person. That aside.
ちょっと、私たちって何よ、私たちって。
Wait, when did this become we?
断っておきますけど、私はそっちと違って冷血感じゃありません。男の子を好きになるなんて問題でも何でもないわ。
Down. I'll have you know that I'm not an ice queen like you. I'd have no problem liking a boy. I've had my fair share of ice queens.
ああ、それ嘘。もしくは気づいていないだけ。遠坂が男を気にかけるなんてことは絶対ないもの。
Yeah, not buying it. Maybe you just haven't realized it, but I can't imagine you getting soft on a boy.
今まで数えきれないぐらい告白されたくせに、一つも色良い返事してないじゃない。少しでも興味があるなら付き合おうって思うでしょ。なのに断り続けるってことは、あんたは男に興味がないってことよ。
You're always getting asked out, and you've never once said yes. You'd think that if you were actually interested, you'd at least date a few. I'd say your record speaks for itself. You don't care about boys.
発想が貧困ね。その場合、すでに好きな相手がいるから断ってるって話もありじゃない？
You have no imagination at all, do you? What if I already have feelings for someone? Ren, don't lie to me.
おお、すっごい美談。いいね、そういうの。ロマンだな。
Wow, talk about tall tales, but sure, I can appreciate a good romance. Ayaka's tone isn't mocking. She nods solemnly. Her sigh tells me that it would be nice if it were true. I don't believe myself. I really can't hide anything from her. Well, when you've known someone for a few years, you kind of get to know each other's tells.
そうね。私もそう思う。
So can I. She's right. I know very well how cold I am.
認めるわ。私、こと恋愛に関しては素人みたい。
I'll concede that I'm a novice when it comes to romance. I'll concede that I'm a novice to when it actually works. Yeah.
そういうこと。似た者同士だって言ったのは遠坂でしょ。
That UR2P is about. Wait, did just auto? I mean, auto. No, no, stop.
じゃあこの辺にしとこう。
Okay, excellent. A for auto. Good.
になったら学生らしく振る舞わないかな。
I know a bit more of the PvP combat aspect. Damn, it's already 7. We better cut the secret meeting short. Who knows when someone might walk in on us. Time to start acting like students. You are acting like students.
三つ釣りさんにもそういう世間体があったなんて意外だわ。これだけでも早起きした甲斐があったみたい。
At least now that you're doing drugs like at American school. Oh, look at you. What a social butterfly. It was worth waking up early just to see it.
あんたほど筋金入ってないけどね。私の世間体なんて遠坂凛に比べたら灯籠の斧ってもんよ。あんたの猫っかぶりは擬態っていうより別人格のレベルよ。別人格。
Not as much as the great Rin Tosaka. I'm the David to your Goliath. Your ability to fake being a goody two-shoes at school is practically an alternate personality. Ayaka sniffs exaggeratedly. I empty the rest of the teacup she poured on me. No, wait, that's the wrong sentence. I empty the rest of the teacup she poured me. She poured in the teacup. She did pour the tea on me. That would be a different situation. And brew a new pot of tea. Tea.
遠坂はどうして部活に入らないのよ。運動神経がないなんてざれ言は聞かないからね。私は去年の体力測定でことごとくあんたに負けたのまだ恨んでるんだから。
So why not join a club? Don't feed me your usual bull about being unathletic. I still haven't forgotten how you beat me in every fitness test last year.
あら、肺活量では三つ釣りさんに負けたわよ、私。あと、体重も三つ釣りさんなら上だったけど。
Oh, ouch. You had me beat in lung capacity though, and weight. Yeah, I gained 3 kilos. That's not a lot. That's not a lot of weight. That's only like 6 odd pounds. You're fine. Wait, that's nothing to celebrate. Damn it, you tricked me. That could all be muscle, girl. Yeah, you're fine. Go slaps the table.
危ない。お茶がこぼれるでしょ、三つ釣りさん。首相なんだから道場は大事になさい。
Careful, you might spill the tea. Shouldn't the club captain be taking better care of the place?
うるさい。私は首相である前に遠坂のライバルだ。
Shut it. I'm your rival first and club captain somewhere after that.
部員がいなけりゃあんたに食ってかかるのは当然よ。
If there's no one else around, you can bet I'm ready to take the fight to you. Ayako side-eyes me with a huff. She has a unique idea about beauty. A beautiful woman must walk the martial path. She's always going on about that. Not surprisingly, she's well versed in most martial arts. Have I ever talked about how I just love a woman that would just simply kick my ass? However, unfortunately for them, I'm kind of built like a fucking truck. No offense to anyone. You can't really surmount weight too easily. Is this why you pull out a gun? Yes, gun. Kyoto was the discipline she was least skilled at, so she joined the club and worked her way up to captain. Okay. I mean, you can definitely shoot me. She's probably one of the top 3 people in our school you'd at least want to mess with. Yeah, that's a level of hater I do not want to fuck with. You pick your least favorite thing, or not even the least favorite, what you are worst at, and then become one of the best people at it, just to say, ha, Yeah, on my level, nerd. No,
部員がい
not
な
a
け
good
れば
idea.
首相じゃないなんて問題発言じゃないそれ。
Should you really be saying that you'd stop being a captain if none of your club members are around?
問題発言なもんですか。私はお飾りの首相だから、できることって言ったら不良部員を取り締まることだけよ。
Why not? I'm only captain for show. I can just have the more unruly members take care of my grunt work.
私以上にしゃがりっぱなやつがいるんだから。
Plus, there's
首相としての
better shooters than me anyway. I don't have any captain's honor to defend.
そうなの？藤村先生、三辻さんは飛び抜けてうまいって言ってたけど。
That's so. I recall Miss Fujimura saying you were the best they had.
あの人がそう言うんなら、そりゃ少しは自信が持てるけど。まあ、いなくなっちまったやつのことなんて考えても仕方ないか。そうね。藤村先生がそう言ってくれたんなら、真面目に首相やんないとまずいか。
Coming from her, that's a bit of an ego boost. But still, she's only saying that because of the guy who left. You're right, though. If Miss Fujimura thinks that much of me, I'd better act like a real captain.
そうそう。噂をすれば影。そろそろ部員がやってくるからでしょ。
That's the spirit.
私はおいとまするけど、
Where?
三辻さんはきちんと首相になりなさい。
And speak of the devil, here come your clubmates now. Time for me to go, but make sure you do your part.
何？見ていかないの？シャ。
What? You're not going to watch us shoot?
見てもわからないもの。遠くから眺める分にはいいけどね。不心得者が道場にいるわけにはいかないでしょ。
I wouldn't understand it even if I did. It's one thing to watch from afar, but the uninitiated shouldn't loiter in the dojo. Rin, you're watching people put arrows in targets in the form of them shooting. You don't have to understand it to appreciate putting an arrow in a target. You don't have to know the finer details of shooting to appreciate a motherfucker getting shot. I'm just saying. Just as I get up to leave, the first club members begin entering the archery range.
おはようございます、首相。
Good morning, Captain.
ああ、おはようマト。今朝は一人？
Morning, Matao. Are you by yourself today?
はい。力になれず、申し訳ありません。
Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't convince him to come.
ああ、いいっていいって。本人が弓をやらないって言うんなら、無理をさせても仕方がない。
It's fine. If he doesn't want to, there's no point forcing him. Ayaka speaks to the first club member to arrive.
それじゃあ失礼するわ。また後でね、三辻さん。
I'll be going then. See you, Mitsuzuri.
ああ、また後でね、トソカ。
Yeah. Later, Tosaka.
お疲れ様です。遠坂先輩。
Have a good day, Tosaka.
ありがとう。さくらもしっかりね。
Hang in there, Sakura. If you watch the anime, if you know more things about Fate, you know a bit of who Ren and Sakura are. But just in case people have not, like, this is their first entry into Fate, I don't know how you got this far. I don't know how I'm introducing you to this series. What are you doing? Get some help. Or just keep having me in the background as you're doing whatever, draw or something. But we will get to that. I'll leave the dojo behind so as not to get in the way.
いやあ、遠坂。おはよう。朝から君に会えるなんてついてるな。
Morning, Tosaka. Funny running into you so early. Oh no. And here comes the person I least wanted to see.
おはよう、マト君。今日は早いのね。
Good morning, Matao. You're here early.
当たり前だろ。首相なんだから。早めに来ないと一年に示しがつかないじゃないか。
I didn't think about it, but I actually hit my mouse and I was like, oh yeah, I should probably save. Of course I am. I'm the captain. So I need to set a good example for the first years. Shinji Matao from Class 2 Charlie grins at me. It was like he was looking at walking garbage. He's the vice captain of the Kyoto Club, and darling of half the girls at school. This guy? Darling of half the girls at school? I'm supposed to think of his looks, of course, but he's also admired for his good grades, social graces, being kind to girls, and being an overall heartthrob or something like that. I really don't follow that kind of stuff. It's just what I hear my classmates say.
そうご機嫌なところ悪いんだけど一文字抜けてるわマト君大事な字だから忘れない方がいいと思うけど
I see. Hate to burst your bubble, but I'm pretty sure you're forgetting an important part of that, Matao. Try to remember next time.
一文字抜けてるって何がさ
What was that?
幸福の福字は違うけど響きは一緒でしょ副首相さん気をつけなさい別に首相も副首相も変わらないけど変に意識するとこだわってるみたいに聞こえるでしょ
Vice. I don't care whether you're captain or vice captain, but if you make a point of leaving it out, people might think it bothers you, vice captain.
そうだね今後
You're
気をつけ
right.
ありがとう遠坂
We'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Tosaka.
お礼を言われるようなことはしてないけどまあマト君がそう思ったのなら私には関係ないか
Not sure I did anything you should thank me for, but hey, I'm not gonna stop you. With that, I turned to leave the range.
ちょっと待て見学に来たんだろなら見ていけばいいじゃないか遠坂なら大歓迎だよ
Like a fucking puppy. Kicked him already. Well, hang on. You're here to watch, aren't you? You're more than welcome to stay.
遠慮するわ練習の邪魔をしたくないもの
Pass. I don't want to interrupt your practice.
そんなの構わないよ他の連中が気に障るなら締め出すからさちょっと寄っていけって
I don't mind at all. If anyone says otherwise, I'll kick them out. So why don't you stick around? God, how do I look at this smug fucking face, dude?
だから邪魔をする気はないって言ってるでしょ
Oh, I can play the voice. Anyway, I already said I don't want to intrude.
それに私別に弓道に興味があるわけじゃないから
It's not as if I'm particularly interested in Kyoto.
知らないやつのシャを見ても嬉しくないわ
Watch if I've been like saying Kyoto incorrectly. Sometimes like Kyudo or Kaido. I'm not gonna pretend I know how to pronounce these things. Wait, Google, tell me how to pronounce this. Kyoto pronunciation.
Kyudo.
Kyudo.
Kyudo. Kyudo.
Kyudo. Okay, that's probably closer than not, but I was putting more of an O in there when I didn't need to, I guess. So Kyudo. Anyway. I'm not really excited to watch a bunch of people I don't know shooting arrows. You're not? Ren.
なんだよ遠坂弓道に興味はなかったのか
Wait, I could have also just paid attention to when they say it. I didn't have to Google this. I could have just listened to them say it themselves. I'm okay. What's that, Tosaka? You don't care about Kyudo?
だっていうのに放課後になると遠くから見てたのはそういうわけかな
Huh. I must just be confused after seeing you watching us after school so many times. I don't know what he's playing at, but he seems to have seriously misunderstood things.
なんだ知ってたのマト君
So you knew Mato.
ああよく目があったんだぜ僕と遠坂シャを終えてさ斬新の時に限って遠坂は僕を見ていたよ
Yeah, our eyes often met. You and I saw you watching me.
声を返したかったけど一応決まりだね車上では声を上げちゃいけないんだ
I wanted to call out to you, but you know how it is. I can't raise my voice on the range. Bullshit. In times when safety can be a concern, you should be able to raise your voice at all times, especially on ranges where there's projectiles going through the air. You need to be able to yell at dumb motherfuckers. It probably doesn't relate to archery, but on some gun ranges I've been, you will watch a guy, right, back in like boot camp, this dude just holding his pistol out, ready to shoot, and someone tries to correct him, and they do a full 360, still gun pointed out. What is that, petty officer? She's just like, yo, whoa, 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 man. You dumb motherfucker, you're gonna kill somebody. Anyway, I shall be right back. I need to go and use the boys' room. Take a piss. So soon, I'll be back soon. I need to draw another one in the. It's gonna do like a be right back image. Okay, I'm back. I got more drink. Even though I had to go piss, I need more drink because I still got like a few more hours on my time that I said I would stream today, as I'm trying to keep a schedule. since time in the world has finally allowed me to do so, even if I'm streaming to no one. Because at least doing something will be better than nothing. You know? Yeah. Okay. There we go. Shinji starts closing in on me, looking pleased with himself. I see the triumphant glint in his eye, competing with that affable smile.
勘違いしてたよ。遠坂は弓が好きなんだと思ってたけど、弓道には興味がないんだ。ならなんで遠坂は道場を見ていたのかな。
I had it wrong all along. I thought you liked watching us shoot, but you weren't interested. Why are you watching then, Tosaka? Now I see. It would sound like that, wouldn't it?
離れてくれないかしら、マト君。私、あまり人に近寄られるのは好きじゃないし。
Would you mind taking a step back, Matao? I like my personal space. It was like she was looking at walking garbage.
何遠坂
Hmm? What was that, Tosaka?
あ、消え
Wow.
た。どこまで行ってもわからないのね。
You're still not getting it. Kick him in the balls.
趣味じゃないけど仕方ないか。簡単にあなたにも理解できるように言ってあげる。
This isn't my usual style, but I guess it's what it'll take. Here, I'll make this real simple, so even you can understand.
いい、マト君。私は弓道に興味がない以上にあなたに興味がないって言ってるのよ。実際あなたが車上にいたなんて今初めて知ったぐらいだし、きっとこれからも
Hell yeah, Rin. I'm gonna take a sip for this one. I am even less interested in you than I am in Kyudo. I didn't even know you were in the club, and I doubt I'll remember next time either. What did you just say? I must have touched a nerve because he tries to grab me roughly. Oh, fucking hit him. He did not touch people. I twist out of his reach and turn to leave. Kick him. Balls. Go for his balls!
自意識過剰なのも結構だけど、ほどほどにしておいた方がいいわよ。
Bye, Matao. Sometimes a little self-consciousness can do you good.
遠坂お前
Tosaka, you little... Shinji sounds like he's about to say something, but he keeps his temper and doesn't chase after me. This guy's all style, no substance. If he had a little backbone, the people around him wouldn't suffer nearly so much. I take the rear entrance into campus from the archery range. It's past 7 now, but there still aren't students in the hallways.
あれ、遠坂さんだ。
Hey, it's Tosaka. Good morning, Miss Fujimura.
藤村先生。おはよう、遠坂さん。ちゃんと挨拶してくれて先生は嬉しいよ。
Yep, good morning to you. I just love how you're so polite to teachers like me. The strange woman pretends to sob in delight. It may be hard to believe, but this extraordinarily affectionate and happy-go-lucky woman is actually a teacher here.
先生、ちゃんと挨拶をする以外にする挨拶があるのでしょうか。
Is there another way to say good morning?
うん、あるわよ。1年生はちゃんと挨拶してくれるんだけどね。上級生になってくると私の名字で挨拶しないんだから。
There sure are.
ああいうやからの真似しちゃダメだからね。
There sure are. The first years all greet me properly, but once they're upperclassmen, they stop using my surname. Don't follow their example, alright?
はあ、よくわかりませんけど、先生に失礼なことはしませんが。
Oh, I'm not quite sure I understand, but I wouldn't be rude to you.
よしよし。ああ、みんながみんな遠坂さんみたいだったらいいのにな。
Good girl. Oh, how I wish they could be more like you, Tosaka. A parting wave and a see ya. Miss Fujimura leaves. And so do I, off the side of the screen. Because this is awkward. Not really. I would totally smash the teacher. Fortunately, she isn't my homeroom teacher. Miss Fujimura teaches English. Wait, is there a rat? Is there a rat? Does Shiro have a route with teacher? Oh. Oh. I don't think so, no. Her sunny attitude belies her expert rank in in Japanese fencing, kendo. In her student days, they called her the Fuyuki Tiger. Wait, is that why she shows up as a tiger in Fate Grand Order? That's the mystery, though. You'd think someone known as a tiger would be feared, not adored, right? Miss Fujimura cheerily heads off in the direction of the archery range. For some reason, she's a faculty advisor in the Kyoto Club, instead of the Kendo Club. It's just before 7:30. I can see students doing their club activities on the school grounds, but there's hardly anyone indoors. I like how it's 7:30, but all of the reading that I have done has taken over an hour, so... Apparently I'm just really slow. Except... Yeah. I don't even really need to revoice that. He said that correctly. He always blurts out my name like I did something wrong every time he sees me.
あら、生徒会長。こんな朝早くから校舎の見回り？それとも各部室の手入れかしら？どっちでもいいけど相変わらずマメね、そういうとこ。
Well, if it isn't the student council president, it's a little early for patrolling campus, isn't it? Or you may be fixing up the club rooms. You're diligent as always. Not that I care. Baka.
そういうお前こそ何を企んでいる。部活動もしていないお前がこんな早くに何の用か。
Just what are you doing? You're not even in the club. So why are you here so early?
ただの気まぐれよ。ユウドくんちみたいに早起きじゃないのよ、私。
I just felt like it. I got my clock wrong. Don't worry about it. It's a long morning. I'm not an early riser like your family, Ryodo. The student council president's handsome face darkens with suspicion. That's handsome. He seems to have it out for me. I really don't know why. Maybe me saying temples are so dull. Pass is what started it. I am a religious man, I suppose.
最近夜遅くまで校舎にいたことはあるか、父さん。
One question for you. Have you been staying late on campus lately, Tosaka?
ないわね。私が帰宅部だって知ってるでしょ、ユウドくんは。
Nope, I'm in the Go Home Club. You know that. Oh boy, do I ever.
当然だ。生徒会長を任された以上、全校生徒の情報は把握している。
Naturally, as the appointed student council president, I'm well acquainted with all of our students' affairs. Except mine. You can stay out of it, please.
なら私に聞くまでもないでしょ。なんだってそんなことを聞くか知らないけど、生徒会の仕事を部外者に押し付けちゃまずいんじゃない？
That's nice. I'm not sure why you bothered asking, then. I hope you're not trying to pawn your student council work off on outsiders.
情報収集は一人でやりなさいよ。私みたいな部外者に頼らないで。
Spy on your fellow students yourself. Don't ask me. It's got nothing to do with me.
たわけ、お前のどこが部外者だ。
In what way are you an outsider?
うちの会計の首根っこ掴んで悪さをしたのを知らぬと思ったが、このめぎつれ。
Don't think I haven't noticed the way you used your wiles to get your hooks into our treasurer, you vixen! Huh? Are you mentally okay?
あら、 三辻さんに頼まれて部費の割合を明らかにしただけでしょ。
Wait, you're talking about Mitsuzuri? Wait. Chiados? Lesbian? Well, that was uncalled for. Mitsuzuri just asked me to publicize your club budget allocation.
みんなの予算がどこに使われているか調べるなんて生徒として当然の行為だと思うけど。
Don't the students have a right to know how their funds are being spent?
なんとうちの会計を1週間休ませた精神的ダメージが
No, different person, okay. That's all it was to you, was it?
倫理観をお持ちのようだな。
The psychological damage you inflicted on the treasurer made her take an entire week off. I shouldn't be surprised to see just how twisted your ethics are. Good job, Rin. You can definitely manage money.
あなたもね、部下の手綱ぐらいちゃんと握ってなさい。
Look who's talking. You ought to keep your staff on a tighter leash.
文化系ばかりひいきするのはフェアじゃないわ。
Playing favorites with the cultural clubs doesn't seem fair to me.
分かっている。だからこそ俺の手で不正を正したかったのだが。
Okay, when I took a sip with the cap on the right, it made my face do the fucking wonk thing. I know that. That's why I was going to audit them myself. Shiro! It's fixed, you say. Just then, an unexpected visitor makes his presence known.
悪い。頼んだのはこっちなのに、エミヤに任せっきりにしてしまった。許せ。
Oh, sorry, Emiya. You're doing all the work while I'm out here, and I just asked for your help with the repairs. Forgive me. Don't worry about it. Where's the next one? We don't have much time.
ああ、次は師匠が
The AV room.
前から調子が悪かったそうなんだが、この度ついに天寿を全うされた。
The equipment's been acting up for a while, and it finally gave up the ghost. If it's completely broken, I can't fix it. It'd be easier to buy a new one.
そうなんだが、一応見てくれると助かる。俺から見れば臨終だが、お前から見れば仮病かもしれん。
You're right, but I'd still appreciate it if you take a look. It looks like it's on its deathbed to me, but you might be able to nurse it back to health. Okay, I'll try. Beckoned by the other student, the president leaves. I'd stopped thinking during the sudden turn of events. The other boy, a wrench and a screwdriver in hand, turns as if he's remembered something. You're early today, Tosaka. He awkwardly mutters and moves. Is that supposed to be a greeting? The president and the student called Emiya walk off into the distance. That would be Shiro Emiya from Class 2 Charlie.
それはいいんだけどさ。
I hope that's all it was. How do I put it? The wrench looked right at home in his hands. But I'm not sure if it's because it makes him look tough or handy. She's already following for it. At 7:30 a.m., there's nobody else in classroom 2 Alpha. I take a seat at my desk and flip through my math workbook. There's still 30 minutes until morning homeroom. I got time to kill until my classmates start arriving. See, usually I get to like where I'm going like early in the morning, like this, where it's like 30 minutes to an hour early, and then I just get on my phone and play Fate Grand Order. Or read a book. The classroom is lively as lunch break begins after 4th period. My school has a cafeteria, so only about half of the students stay in the room. It's mostly girls that stay behind. The girls think the cafeteria is a bit too liberal with the seasoning, so they try not to get fat. Try not to get fat.
登坂さん、よかったらお昼ご飯一緒に食べませんか？
Chiados? Tosaka, would you like to have lunch with me? We girls tend to enjoy our lunches as a group.
ありがとう三枝さん。けどごめんなさい。私今日は学食なんです。 今朝は寝過ごしてしまってお弁当を作る余裕がなかったものですから。
I'm sorry, I can't say Gusa. But thanks for asking. I'll be eating at the cafeteria today. I overslept this morning, so I didn't have time to make lunch.
そうなんですか。ごめんなさい。そうとも知らず呼び止めてしまって。私、余計なことしましたね。
Of course. Sorry for ambushing you like that. Segusa looks guiltily at her feet. Among the refined and well-behaved students of Class Alpha, she's the most demure. For some reason, she's really nice to me.
余計なことだなんてそんなことはありません。今日はたまたまだから気にしないで。また明日これに懲りず声をかけてください。
There's nothing to apologize for. I just didn't have time to make lunch today. Please, ask me again tomorrow. I let her down as gently as I can and offer a genuine smile.
はい。でも遠坂さんでも寝過ごすことがあるんですね。
Oh, okay. So even you sleep in too, huh? Or wake up too early and come here too early and... Perhaps my smile made her feel better. Segusa turns back to her table, looking relieved. She's adorable. Yukika Segusa. Isn't drop-dead gorgeous, but her smile always puts everyone around her at ease.
ええ、そうなんです。なんとかごまかしてますけど、本当は寝ぼすけなんですよ、私。部活だって朝起きられないから入ってないんです。
It does happen. I don't let it show. But I'm really not a morning person. I can't get up early enough to be in any clubs. Segusa somehow maintains an elegant air even when startled. Watching her reactions is always so calming. Is that a car alarm? Yeah. Watching her reactions is always so calming, but that doesn't mean I have the time to just stand here and talk. If I keep up a conversation with someone so disarming, the real me is bound to show herself. Huh? What do you mean by this, Rin? Are you gonna bully?
それじゃあ食堂に行ってきます。三枝さんもごゆっくり。
I'm off to the cafeteria then. Enjoy your lunch.
はい、遠坂さんも。
You too, Tosaka. Segusa and I exchange some graceful greetings, and she returns to her friends. I see that she's eating with Kaede Mikidura and Kane Himuro. Alright, wasn't Segusa the track and field club manager? You run? Makidera and Himuro are the track and field club's rising stars. Makidera is a bad influence with whom I go window shopping on days off, but I don't know Himuro too well.
売られたね、ゆきっち。だから言ったでしょ。遠坂は弁当持ってこないって。
Lesbians.
釣りたかったらあいつの分も飯用意しないとね。
Looks like you got dumped, Seiichi. Told you that Tosaka didn't bring lunch. You want a hooker, you gotta bring enough food for both of you. I'll take food. I'll take free food.
マキ、それは私たちの食堂に移動すればいいだけの話だよ。
Maki, can't we just go to the cafeteria for two then?
ダメダメ。食堂は狭いんだから。弁当組が座れるスペースなんてねっての。それに遠坂と同席してみなさい。男どもの視線がうざいのなんの。
Nah, it's too cramped in there to share space with us brown baggers. Who the hell says that? What is that what the fuck is a brown bagger? That just does not sound right. Ew. Sounds gross. Especially since they probably have like really cute lunchboxes. Plus, it's really annoying how the boys stare when you sit next to Tosaka.
前の休みだってさ。一人で遊びに行ったのに、あいつだけ得しちゃってさ。やだよね。美人を鼻にかけた優等生は。
I see another weird word. The last time we all hung out, she hogged all the attention. She's an overachiever and all swanky. Too, I can't take it. I feel like there could have been a better word than swanky. Makidera takes hold of Saragusa's desk as she continues to rant about me. I feel like even suave would have been better. Despite her foul mouth, she actually wears a kimono really well, like a picturesque Japanese beauty.
牧主、君の陰口は遠坂城に聞こえているようだよ。
Makinoji. Makinoji. Lady Tosaka can hear everything you're saying. Meanwhile, Himeno's cold and solid demeanor are a complete foil to that of Makidera. I'm going to sneeze. I felt that coming. Oh crap. Did she hear me? I bet she's totally glaring at me. Not really.
別に遠坂さん、マキちゃんを睨んでなんかないと思う。
I don't think she's glaring at you.
睨んでんだよ、あれ。
She's totally shooting lasers.
一番怖いんだから。なんだよ、いいじゃんか口ぐらい。多めに見ろよ。私と遠坂の仲だろ。たい焼きおごってやっただろ。
Mist, you are overthinking this. She's totally shooting lasers. It's the scariest when she's smiling at you. Oh, come on. Just let it slide. We're pals, remember? I treated you taiyaki that one time. Oh, wait, so that's how I can look at the thing. Okay. Kaede Makidera puts her chiefs out in a pout, waving her disposable chopsticks in the air. Would you believe that her hobby is collecting wind chimes? What? Wait. What's this? Where's that come from? Okay. The world works in strange ways. I have a collection of, like, nutcrackers. That's how, like, random that felt. It's like if I just suddenly was like, hey, I have nutcrackers. You want to crack the nut? Bust. Wait, there's a sentence here that probably is more better with company. At any rate, it's rude to say, I guess, to stare at the three of them. Caught between me and the foul-mouthed Makidera, Saigusa looks like she doesn't know what to do with herself.
気にしないでいいのよ、三枝さん。
It's alright, Saigusa.
それと牧寺さん、おごらされたのは私で、品物はたい焼きではなくクレープでした。無意識に事実を改ざんする悪癖、次あたりに直さないと考えますよ。
And Makidera, I was the one who treated you to crepes, not taiyaki. You really ought to fix how you work in hyperbole.
マジ声ある笑顔。
That smile scares the daylights out of me. See, they have lunch bucklet. Or probably, bento box thing. Oh. Makidera holds up her lunchbox like laid like some kind of shield. I bid the Adriel farewell. Leave the classroom. Yes. Leave the classroom. And slide the door closed. Oops.
なんだよ、愛さないじゃんか、たい焼きもクレープも。どっちも甘いの、皮で包んでるんだからさ。
Give me a break. Taiyaki? Crepes? What's the difference? They're both sweet things wrapped in carbs. Makidera utters something blasphemous for a girl. What? What's wrong with that?
たい焼きとクレープが同じですって？
She thinks taiyaki and crepes are the same. Well, let me think about this. Well, okay, I'll say this. I'll give her this. If the taiyaki is filled with anything other than red bean paste, I can see why she would think it would be similar to the crepe. However, they're kind of different. They're pastries. I'll at least tell her this. They're both pastries. You could get pastries mixed up. Although I don't think I would mistake a donut for a cake. she even human? Are all desserts the same to her? If I'd known that her taste buds can't distinguish Valera's 500 yen very, very berry from an 80 yen taiyaki at Edomera. Damn you, Kaede Mekadeva. I could have saved 420 yen. Rin. Oh, Rin. Oh, no. Rin, you're being rude.
何本気で悔しがってるんだ私。
Talk about a miser. Wow, what am I getting actually upset for? I must still be tired from last night. The cafeteria sounds like a pain, so I'll just buy some bread from the counter and eat on the roof. Yeah, why is it they're like, oh, the Japanese things, schools, whatever, in the anime and shit, like, you can't go to the roof. I doubt you can actually do that IRL. Like, all the schools I went to, there was not like a roof to the school, if that makes any sense. There was not even like floors, right? There was not like some tall, compact building that the school took place in. No, that just was not a thing. So going up to the roof just also was not a thing. I purchased my lunch and head to the unoccupied roof. If there was, though, holy shit, it would have been so fun. To just go up there. That was different in summertime. During the winter, the roof was a convenient place to eat that other students tend to avoid. I would have really loved this. It's too cold to hang out there during lunch, but that's a small price to pay for privacy. And it's cold?
さて、
I would have loved it. Anyway, so where I live, there's sirens every day. Every single day. Time to eat. I indulge in the tomato sandwich and hot lemon drink I bought from the cafeteria. It's a simple lunch, made all the more delicious by the fact I can enjoy it up here in peace. I finish the sandwich and sip on the warm and lemony drink. I'm a little tired. It's hard to balance being an overachiever with avoiding human contact as much as possible. Actually, that's what they usually do. Usually the people that are like really book smart also don't like to interact with people. Some of them might also be what you would call autistic. As the saying goes, one should be accomplished at both the pen and the sword. It's a point of pride, no, conviction, that I'd be the top student at the school. I've decided that if I was going to be a student, then I'd be the very best, like no one ever was. I don't want people looking down on the Tosaka name. That's how Rin Tosaka came to be a perfect, flawless student. You were going to burn yourself out so hard, oh my god. I hated honors classes. It's like, oh, so you're smart and you do good at the schoolwork. Here, have more. Like, I want to be left alone. Please, I finished my work so I could be left alone. I didn't finish my work so I could have more work. I finished the work to be done, not have more. On the other hand, my occupation as a mage is dangerous, so I shouldn't associate too much with normal people. When the mage is discovered by the Holik, she has no choice but to eliminate witnesses to protect herself. Anyway, I'd rather not resort to that. That's why I keep my social interactions purely superficial, out of necessity. I only hang out with Makida on my days off, and I turn down invitations from the more sociable people like Segusa. It's difficult walking the tightrope of being the #1 student at school while making sure I don't become anybody else's #1. And sure, there are times when it tires me out and I feel like life is a real drag.
もう時間か。
It's already time. I finish the hot lemon drink and stand up. That's enough sentimentality for today. Time to go back downstairs and become Rin Tosaka again.
ではホームルームを終了する。日直は日
Homeroom is over. Make sure you log your day shifts and lock the doors and windows. If you don't have any club activities, try to get home quickly. Class 2 Alpha's teacher gives his usual spiel and leaves the room. As far as I know, he said exactly the same way all year.
Tosaka, 今日はもうお帰り?
Tosaka, are you going home already?
ええ、朝方麻藤君と一見あったし、面倒になる前に帰るわ。
Yeah, I had a run with Matao this morning, so I want to leave before it gets out of hand.
やっぱりそうか。マトのやつ、今朝は特に荒れてたからさ。遠坂に手ひどく扱われたんだろうなって思ってた。
I figured. He sure had a temper this morning. You must have put him through the ringer.
そう、迷惑をかけてしまったかしら、三辻さん。
Did he now? Sorry for the trouble.
別に、マトが下級生をいびるのはいつものことだし。あれはあれでいい精神鍛錬になるよ。
It wasn't really. Matao is always hard on the younger students. It helps them build character. Oh, so he's just an asshole. Got it.
そう、よかった。じゃあ、この埋め合わせはまた今度。
Glad to hear it. It'll make it up to you later. I'll make it up to you later. Hey, you know what that did to me? It built a great amount of character. A great amount of character of how to not be an asshole. You know what also they will build part of that character? Despising you. Sure. Hope it doesn't put you off. Stop by again sometime. What did? I'll find that later. I feel like I just knocked something over. I'm making my way home without taking any detours. My time as Ren Tosaka, the honor student, ends once I leave the school. The next half of the day is reserved for the other me. I have to become a mage of the Tosaka. When I arrive back at the house, I'm greeted with the pulsing light of my answering machine.
留守電なんて珍しいな。相手はやっぱりあんたか、キレ。
Voicemail? That's rare. Figures. It's Kirei. I have a feeling I know what he's going to say, but I'd better listen, or I won't hear the end of it later. I press the play button and hear a familiar male voice. It's me. As I'm sure you're aware, tomorrow is the time limit, Rin. We will have a problem if you procrastinate any further. There are only 2 spots left. I must ensure all the masters are in order soon. The priest cuts straight to the point. If you plan to forfeit your rights as a master, let me know by today. It'll take time to dispatch a substitute mage. Liar, I bet you can find a backup right away. You have already showed signs of a command spell. Promptly summon your servant and bind them to it. Of course. It's a different discussion if you choose not to take part in the Holy Grail War. If you fear for your life, then come to the church with all due haste. The voicemail ends. There's a clear message in simple language. If you're going to fight, then be ready. Fight today. If you aren't, then retire, because you're in the way.
言われなくても分かってるわよ。
I don't need you to tell me that. It's only to be expected, I guess. Today's the last day I can drag this out. Thankfully, I managed to decipher Father's notes yesterday. My battle preparations are in order. All that's left is to seize the right to participate, as he said. The Holy Grail War.
たった一つきりの聖杯を奪い合うこの試合。何百年も前から伝わってきた聖杯の儀式。
The Holy Grail War. A fight to the death over a single chalice. A ritual that's gone on for centuries. The mages who take part in the Holy Grail War are called masters. It doesn't denote a rank of any kind, it merely describes their role. It is a condition to participate in the Holy Grail War. You must summon a familiar, called a servant, and form a contract with them. Regardless of your skills as a mage, you are not recognized as a master unless you command a servant. There's a clear difference between servants and normal familiars. The way you summon them and use them are different. Mages who plan to fight in the Holy Grail War prepare summoning catalysts, but
父さんのセイバーにゆかりのものを残してくれればよかったのに。
I wish Father had left me something with a connection to a saber. I don't own any relics with a connection to a servant. I can summon one, yes. In fact, I could do it right now if I wanted to, as well as form a contract. This town's ley lines are under the jurisdiction of the Tosaka. I'm the heir to a clan that's administrated the land for generations. So my performance will not take a back seat to some visiting mage. Although, while that is true, it'd be awfully incompetent of me to embark on a figurative voyage without a compass.
サーバントはシンボルによって必要せられる。
Servants are drawn as symbols.
強力なサーバントを呼び出したいのなら、そのサーバントにゆかりのあるものが必要不可欠なのだ。
To summon a powerful servant, one needs a symbol with a connection to that servant. In other words, I need some outrageously valuable item, like a sword, or a piece of armor that servant owned, or maybe a bone or heraldry related to them.
父さんの遺言に期待してたんだけどな。
I had such big hopes for Father's
これ
will.
はこれでものすごい切り
No.
のところ。
He still did leave me a serious trump card. The pendant I discovered in the basement last night is an ancient artifact of the highest quality. It's amazing all on its own. Still, it won't help me summon a servant.
いいわよ。そんなものに頼らなくたってなんとかなるわ。そもそも私以外にセーバーを扱えるマスターなんているはずないし。
Fine. I don't need to rely on something like that to figure this out. To begin with, I doubt there's any master more qualified to handle Saber than I am. Alright, I've made up my mind. I'd rather not get another earful and waiting until the last minute doesn't sit right with me. Now the real challenge begins. Tonight, I'm going to summon a servant while I'm in peak condition and acquire Saber by force. How about that? Late night. The clock reads almost 2 a.m. This is the period where everything lines up. My condition peaks at 2 a.m. sharp. In terms of limits, this will be my first and last chance, so I can't afford even the slightest mistake. Withdrawal within elimination.
体育の順位を4つ刻んで、召喚の順位で囲う。
Withdrawal within elimination. Engrave 4 circles of withdrawal and surround them with a summoning circle. There. I inscribe magic circles into the floor of the basement. Actually, it doesn't take a major evocation to call forth a servant. Servants are invited by the Holy Grail. Masters anchor them to the world and supply the magical energy to materialize them. But the servants are the ones who choose to respond to the summons. Come on.
そう、いい。礎に石と契約のタイプ。ソニは我が大使、シュバリオ。
For the elements, silver and iron. For the foundation, stone and the Archduke of Pax. For the ancestor, my great master, Schwinorg? Schwing? Schwang? Schwang? Schwinger?
降り立つ風には壁を。四方の門は閉じ、王冠より出る。王国の三皿は循環せよ。
Raise a wall for the wind that shall fall. Close the gates of the 4 directions. Come forth from the crown and follow the forked road leading to the kingdom. Still, I need to keep cautious and focus. Magic circles are normally drawn with blood, but tonight, I draw mine with melted jewels. I'm using up half of the jewels I've accumulated over my lifetime, so I'll never financially recover from this if it fails. Fill. Close. Fill. Close. Fill. Close. Fill. Close. Fill. Close. Fill. Close.
繰り返し都度の5度
Repeat 5 times.
満たされる時を破却する
Though when each is filled, destroy it. It's almost 2 a.m. I finish drawing the summoning circle, pass down through the Tosaka line, and face it with all my being.
アーフォン
Anfang. Set. I flick a formless switch within myself. With a click, I feel my insides turn over to something else. My normal nerves invert to become circuits for conducting magical energy. Rin Tosaka is no longer human. She's just a component in the execution of mystics. I mean, to be fair, a human body is nothing more than like a 1,000 ohm resistor? Something like that. I melt from my fingers. No, I'm filled up from my fingers. The mana I'm taking in is so dense it overrides my bodily sensations. That's why I'm being destroyed at the same time I'm being filled. Lewd. Running through my body is the power, mana from the atmosphere. I convert it into a different type of energy through my body circuits. A mage's body is nothing but circuits. Circuits connect the ethereal to the material. The mystical outcome reproduces what we call magecraft. My body grows hot. It seems like horns are growing from my forehead. It seems like wings are sprouting from my back. It seems like scales are covering my hands. It feels like there's water pooling around my ankles. Sweat drifts. Stab. Stab. Swords pierce my body. These are the stigmata that reject my body, which becomes a circuit. No matter how gifted a mage is, we're only human. In a human body, the pain is something we must live with whenever we use magecraft. The cycle doesn't let up. Beyond the agony, deep within the trance, lies the mental state necessary for connection. Pain wriggles in my left arm. To aid the caster, my magical crest autonomously begins an incantation, invading my nervous system. Ugh. The mana in the atmosphere I've taken in turns to blood. It's like molten lead. While my activated magic crest resembles thorny nerves. With a crunching sensation, it creeps throughout my body like a thorny centipede. Dude, I love what whatchamacallit, the verbiage being used here. It's very creative, at least. Within the hurt, I forget myself. At the same time, I can feel it taking hold of me, like I've reached where I needed to go. My hypersensitive hearing picks up the ticking clock in the parlor. 10 seconds left until 2 a.m. The power filling my body is unquestionably complete. Heed my words. Time to begin. I convert the mana I've collected into magical energy for fixation. All that's left is to feed all that energy into the engine, the summoning circle, until my body runs dry. Heed my words.
何時の身は我が元に我が命運は
My
何時
will creates your body, and your sword creates my destiny. If you heed the Grail's call, and obey my will and reason, then answer me. My vision goes dark. What lies before me now is the fifth factor, said to be imperceptible to the naked eye. My vision shuts off on its own, fearing what it might see. I hereby swear, I shall be all the good in the world. I shall defeat all the evil in the world. 7 heavens, clad in 3 great words of power. Come forth from the circle of binding, guardian of the scales. That went off without a hitch. It feels so perfect. It's like I'm reeling in a whale of a fishing rod. Okay, I was having chills from reading the lines, and then she goes and says this. Rin, please. Flawless. I'm positive I just drew the strongest card. I can't wait for my vision to return. I am blind right now. It'll take a few more seconds, but when it does, I'm sure the strongest servant will be nowhere in sight. Huh? Nothing's here. The room doesn't look different at all. I spun that much aether into this ritual, only for absolutely nothing to materialize? On top of that, I think I just heard something explode in the parlor. Why? I bolt. My head's empty at this point. I just run. I race up the stairs from the basement. The door's broken. The door to the parlor is askew off its hinges. There isn't any point in turning the doorknob, since it won't open with either a push or a pull. Damn it! Move, you stupid thing! I kick it down and burst into the room. And the moment I enter the parlor, everything becomes clear. Everything is in tatters. Rubble is strewn across everything, as if something has fallen through the ceiling. On top of it all sits a man cocking his head arrogantly. Yeah, he literally fell through the roof. What do you think? He must be some kind of criminal. But something graver draws my attention. The grandfather clock, having skipped destruction, tells the time precisely. Now I remember. Right. Of course, the clocks are an hour ahead today, weren't they? Which means it's 1 a.m. Still a full hour left until I'm in peak spellcasting form. I screwed up again. I complete tasks as well as anyone else, but suffer from the curse of my genetics. When it really counts, I somehow managed to bungle things on an unbelievable level. It's done, it's done. Just gotta learn from this. I can't believe my own stupidity. Still irritated, I direct my glare at the man, lounging haughtily on the table, on the rubble. So, what are you? That's the first thing out of your mouth? I seem to have been dealt a truly ridiculous master. The man in the red mantle shakes his head in a sorrowful exasperation. A show of exasperation. To add insult to injury, he mutters something about drawing the short straw. Oh, now I'm dead certain. This guy has a messed up personality. And is this a servant? I thought familiars were shapeless beings, but this is just a man. No, not just a man. Even from here, I can tell that it's brimming with a shocking amount of magical energy. Don't be fooled by its appearance. I'm staring at something that's undoubtedly more than human. It's a human-shaped ghost that's on the level of an elemental. This is no time to be dumbstruck. That thing belongs to me. I need to get my head in the game. Just checking. But you are my servant, right? That's what I wanted to ask. Are you even my master? I've never been summoned so violently before. And honestly, I'm still struggling to get my bearings. It's my first time too. I'm not answering questions like that. I see. But you weren't here when I was summoned. Care to explain why? Are you serious? You're no baby bird. Don't joke that you can't decide who to serve if they aren't there when you open your eyes. The unidentified servant frowns and a grunt escapes his lips. Maybe he didn't like the way I said it, though he has a mixed reaction, as if still impressed by the logic in my
まあ
words.
いいわ。私が聞いているのはね、あなたが他の誰でもない
Whatever.
この私のサーバントかってこと
What
だ
I'm
けよ。
asking is if you're my servant and no one else's.
それをはっき
I
り
don't have time to answer any of your questions until we make that clear.
召喚に失敗しておいてそれか。この場合、他にいろいろと言うべきことがあると思うのだね。
This is what I get after a failed summoning? Huh? I believe there's something else you should be saying.
そんなのないわよ。主従関係は一番初めにはっきりさせておくべきものだもの。
There isn't. In a master of familiar relationship, this is the first detail we need to hash out. Servant's eyebrow twitches. He isn't even bothering to hide his dissatisfaction with me. Or it's because of the half-baked summoning.
主従関係ははっきりさせておくか。やることは知ってんだらけだが、口だけは達者らしい。
You want to clarify who serves whom? At least you know how to run your mouth, even if you failed at everything else. Sure. I agree with that opinion.
どちらが強者で
We ought to make clear who's strong and who's weak,
確認しておかなければ。
or also to make this dynamic difficult. The servant eyes me meaningfully, still relaxing on the rubble of my living room.
どちらが弱者かですって？
Weak?
私もサーバントだ。呼ばれたからには主従関係を認めるさ。
Yeah, I'm a servant,
それはあくまで
and I acknowledge
話だろう。
that I serve my summoner. But that's only how it is on paper, wouldn't you say?
どちらがより優れたものか、共に戦うにふさわしい相手かを測るのは別になる。
We still need to establish who's superior, and whether you're worthy to fight alongside.
その件でいくと、君は私のマスターにふさわしい魔術師なのかな。
On that point, are you a mage worthy of my service, little girl? The servant smirks. First, he destroys my house, and acts like he's king of the castle, and now he has the nerve to ask whether I'm worthy.
あなたの意見なんて聞いてないわ。
I didn't ask for your opinion. I only asked if you're my servant or not.
私のサーバントかどうかってことだけよ。
I repeat myself, stealing my gaze. I'm not going to back down from this condescending jerk.
なるほどなるほど。そんな当たり前のことは
Be
答
right
え
back.
るまでも
Be
ない。
right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I
実
gotta,
に勇ましい。
gotta do the thing.
いや、気概だけなら立派なマスターだが。
I'm back. That was the emergency restroom. I'm getting a banana because hunger. Okay. Okay. I will save. Holy shit. It's been 2 hours. We're still in the prologue. Oh, Lord. That's just how slowed down things are when you're reading everything. If out loud, I should say. If I was reading this like in my head, it would have been like click, click. It would have gone by a lot faster. Small banana break. Did it save? Yeah, it saved. Okay. Oh, I see. You won't even deign to answer such an obvious question? At least you've got spirit. You can talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? Oh, that is such a funny saying. Sure. I would not say that to Tosaka. She might do something crazy, you know. Like bananas falling apart. Oh God. Like I said, you're getting ahead of yourself. It's the summoner's duty to confirm this first. Now answer me. Are you my servant or not? I step forward aggressively, ready to pounce depending on his answer. Such a stubborn girl. We'll get nowhere at this rate. Very well. For discussion's sake, let's assume that I am your servant. In that case, are you my master? Hypothetically speaking, of course. Obviously, you're the servant I summoned. So who else would it be? I glare at this rude man, giving my seething head a moment to cool down. Oh. Well, I suppose I would be. Hypothetically. Then where's the proof that you're my master? His servant blithely asks, smirking all the while. He's clearly trying to goad me with these questions into losing my temper. Right here. This proves that I'm your master. I show him the command spells on my right hand. Don't think I was born yesterday. Father's told me enough that I know what command spells are, at least. Banana too. There's 2 bananas. Good enough for you yet? Any other complaints? I thrust the symbols at him in challenge. But the lounging servant rolls his eyes. Yeah. Are you serious right now, girl? His face darkens, looking even more disgruntled. What do you mean? I'm talking about the way you think. Command spells automatically make you my master. They're merely tools to compel a servant. Banana too ripe. It'd fall apart. Trouble peeling, I have. It's okay. With this, I have now not wasted any of bananas that I had bought earlier. Not earlier today, but days ago. Yep. Banana!
まったくそんな形だけのものでマスターブルフはな
I can't believe you think flaunting some symbols is enough to play Master.
私が見たかったのは君が忠誠を振るうにふさわしい人物かどうかだったのだな
What I want to see is whether you deserve my loyal service. That makes sense, but normally you'd think of command spells. If someone asks for proof you're a master, right?
何よ。それじゃあ私はマスター失格？
What, you think I'm unqualified to be your master?
そう願いたいがそうはいくまい霊樹がある以上私の召喚者は君のようだ
I wish that were the case.
君は本当に私のマスターらしいな
But unfortunately, your command spells show that you summoned me. As hard as it is to believe, you appear to be my master. He shrugs in mock exhaustion. Uh-oh. I've reached my boiling point, and it's not going to cool down in time. I'm hardly satisfied, but I'll concede the point.
とりあえず君は私のマスターだだが私にも条件がある私は今後君の言い分には従わない戦闘方針は私が決めるし君はそれに従って行動する
I just want to say I like his clothes a lot. What are those like belts on the pants? I don't know. It looks cool though, man. For now, you are my master, but I have conditions. I'm going to do what you say. I'm not going to... I already know. I'm not going to do what you say. I'll decide the direction of battle, and you'll act as I see fit.
これが最大の譲歩だそれで構わないねお嬢さん
This is the greatest concession I can give you. I'm sure you don't mind, girl. Sorry, father. I'm at my limit.
不満だけど認めるくせに私の意見には取り合わないってどういうことかしらあなたは私のサーバントなんでしょ
Drop the thing. I dropped the thing. Okay. You're saying you'll recognize me, even though you don't like it, but you'll ignore my opinions? Aren't you supposed to be my servant? I ask in a trembling voice. After our spat over the command spells, this is my last desperate attempt at dialogue. And yet...
形の上だけはな故に形式上は君に従ってやるだが戦うのは私自身だ君はこの家の地下にでも隠れて聖杯戦争が終わるまでじっとしていればいい
Yes, technically. Therefore, I will obey you, in theory. But I'm the one who'll be fighting. You can just hide underground in your house and behave until the Holy Grail War is over.
それなら未熟な
That way, even a novice like you will survive. He's looking down on me, declaring that he expects nothing from me.
怒ったのかいやもちろん君の立場は尊重する
Did I make you angry?
マスターを勝利
Of course, I respect your position. I was summoned to bring my master victory, after all.
私の勝利は君のものだし
My victories will belong to you, as will any spoils of war. You hardly have anything to complain about. Oh,
どうせ君に霊樹は使えない
you can't even use those command spells.
後のことは私に任せて君は自分の身の安全を
Just leave the rest to me and worry about your own skin.
玉来た
Ren's angry. I've had it with you.
いいわそんな
Fine. If that's how it's going to be, then I'll use them.
アンファン
Anfang. No mercy. I've got nothing else left for a jackass like this. Tell me.
そのまさかよこの
That's exactly what you're thinking, you dirtbag. I hereby invoke my command spell. And it, banana made me burnt. The bananas made me burnt. Anyway. I hereby invoke my command spell. In accordance with the laws of the Holy Grail, bind my servant in absolute obedience. Wait, have you lost your mind, Master? Who would waste a command spell on something like this? Shut up!
いいあんたは私のサーバントなら私の言い分には絶対服従ってもんでしょ
You're my servant, get it? That means you absolutely have to do what I say. The emblem on my right hand aches. 30 command spells. They allow a master to issue 30 unbreakable commands to their servants. Did you even think of this through? If you use a command spell in such a vague order... it's too late to whine now. I don't expect this to happen either. I don't want to die of self-loathing. I can't believe I just burned one of my precious command spells on a petty squabble. After that, I retreated from the ruins of the parlor and went to my bedroom. Before me stands the servant from whom my command spells compelled absolute obedience from. Supposedly, anyway. I see. I more or less have you figured out, Master. Who would call this absolute obedience? Just to be clear, do you understand how critical the command spells are, Master? Sure I do. They let me order my servant around 3 times. What about it? Listen. Command spells let you force a servant into action. He could use them not only to stop actions, but also strengthen actions. For example, normally I can't come to you instantly from a distant location, but if you order me to with your command spell, it's possible as long as it is something that is attainable with our magical energies. That's what the power of force compliance means. That's what the power of force compliance means. Not even we servants can resist. Your command spells are 30 crystallizations of grand magecrafts that can make us overcome our bodily limits. Though you're down to 2 now. I know that. So what? I still have 2 more. It's not like the first order was wasted on you. Baka. You're right. I did miscalculate. The more vague an order is, the more the power of a command spell diminishes. Yeah. The more the power of the command spell diminishes. They're weaker on long-lasting, broad commands like protect me until the end or win this war for me. The compulsion will be sustained, but there will be servants who can resist the minor pain of disobedience. On the other hand, singular commands like unleash your next attack at all costs or do not break that glass are absolute, and even powerful servants will find it difficult to defy them. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you, Master? Yes, and you're saying that vague commands are pointless.
そんな効き目の薄い命令をするなら絶対的な単一の命令をした方がいい。
If the effect and restriction are both weak, then servants can act against their command spells. It's better to use them on a simple, straightforward order, rather than something abstract.
そうだ。レイジとはもともと自分たちの能力以上の奇跡を起こすためのもの。それを大王の聞く命令などで消費する具は許されない。
That's correct. A command spell is meant to cause miracles beyond our own means. It's unforgivably foolish to spend them on a task that can be executed by other means.
君の先ほどのレイジは
That goes doubly for the way you used it earlier.
私が君に従うかは話し合いで解決できたことだし、仮にレイジを使ったところで全ての言動に絶対服従などレイジが100あっても実現できない。
That goes doubly for the way you used it earlier. You could have verbally persuaded me to obey you, and even 100 command spells would have failed to enforce absolute obedience.
じゃあ私のさっきのレイジの何って
So you're saying it was all for nothing?
通常ならそうなんだがな。どうも君の魔術師としての性能は
Normally,
桁が違ったら
that
しい。
would be the case, but it appears that you are an outstandingly talented mage. Is he shocked or happy? My servant's lips twitch upward, even as he sighs.
桁が違ったって
By outstanding, you mean...
ちょっ
Hang
と
on.
あなた自分が今どんな状態なのか正直に話してみなさい。
Hang on. Tell me honestly what your condition is like right now. The implication dawns on me, and I ask him eagerly.
誤算というのは
That was my miscalculation.
先ほどの命令では少しはマスターの意見を尊重しようという程度の心変わりにしかならない。
Your command should have resulted in a change of heart. It would make me want to respect your opinions slightly more.
だが今の私は君の言葉に強い強制を感じている。君の意見に異を唱えるとそうだな、ランクが一つばかり落ちるようだ。
But I can feel a strong compulsion from your every word. If I voice an objection, let me think. It's as if my defiance would weaken me.
つまりマスターの意向に逆らうと体が重くなる。
In other words, my body will grow heavy, making it difficult to move if I defy my master's will. My servant shrugs in resignation. So he's saying that my command spell wasn't a waste but an actual benefit? He's still being as sarcastic as ever, so it doesn't seem to have had any effect. Besides, even if he's weakened, I doubt even 10 of me could resist if he decided to rebel against me.
前言を撤回しよう、マスター。
Allow me to retract my previous statement, Master.
年齢は若いが、君は
You may be young,
卓越した
but you are a superior mage. I'm just trying to think, though. What would happen if Rin never, gave him a shackle like this? I wonder. If she didn't, fuck this up, or mess up. If she actually summoned him at 2, and didn't mess up and didn't, put that weight on him with a command spell.
子供と侮り、戦いから遠ざけようとしたのは私の過ちだった。どれともども謝る。
It was my mistake for underestimating you as a child, and trying to keep you out of the fight. I apologize for my rudeness. The servant straightens his posture and gives me a formal bow.
やめてよ。確かにいろいろ言い合ったけど、そんなの喧嘩両成敗っていうか。
Wait, hold on. I know we said a lot of things to each other, but it's not like we need to make up after...
そうか。いや、話のわかるマスターに助かった。
Is that so? Good. I'm glad you're so understanding.
なんか切り返しが早い。
Immediately stops. Awfully quick on the uptake, aren't you?
誤算は誤算だったが、嬉しい誤算というやつだったからな。これほどの才能があるのなら、君を戦いに巻き込むことに異論はない。
I indeed miscalculated, but this must be what they call a happy accident. I have no qualms bringing a mage of your talents into the war. Huh? Is this a roundabout way of saying I'm a strong master?
じゃあ、レイジ抜きで私がマスターだって認めるのね。
You recognize me as your master even without the command spells?
無論だ。先ほどは 召喚されたばかりで馴染んでいなかったが、今では完全につながった。
Of course.
であるのなら、契約によるつながりを感じられるだろう。
I was still getting my bearings after the summoning earlier, but we're now completely connected. As a mage, you should be able to feel the bond of our pact.
契約？
Our pacto? Huh, now that he mentions it, something does feel weird about my body. Beat, beat. It's as if my closed-off nerves are now connected to the outside. Specifically, I could feel a portion of my magical energy flowing to the man before me.
サーバントは聖杯に呼ばれる。
Ah.
呼ばれたサーバントをこの世に留めるのは
The Holy Grail calls servants, but masters keep them in the world.
そう、マスターの力だ。サーバントはマスターからの魔力提供によってこの世に留める。
Yes, that's your power as a master. You supply your servant with magical energy, so that they can remain in the
魔
world.
力提供量は十分だ。
And my supply is
経験
adequate.
的に問題はありそうだが、君の能力は飛び抜けている。
Okay, whatever. Let's try not to do a thing. It's fine. Okay. My supply is adequate. I have concerns about your inexperience, but your powers make up
普通の
for it.
魔術師ならば、サーバントを召喚した瞬間に意識を失っているだろう。
A common mage would probably faint the second they summon a servant, yet you're standing here, full of life.
先ほどまで
Considering the command spell used earlier, your energy capacity unquestionably makes you a master of the finest caliber. Flattery won't get you anywhere, baka.
何も出ないけど
I break eye contact out of embarrassment. Well, I didn't see this coming. I know the command spell is making him obey me, but still, this superhuman servant is sincerely acknowledging me as his master.
ねあなた何のサーバント
So which servant are you? I clear my head and return to business.
見てわからないか。
You can't tell by looking? Very well
それ
then.
は結構。
I take it all back. He's definitely making fun of me.
わかったわこれはマスターとしての
Fine. Then I'm asking you as your master.
ね
Hey, aren't you a
えあ
saber?
なたセイバーじゃないの
残念ながら剣は持っていない。
Unfortunately, I'm not equipped with a sword. I suspected as much. When all is said and done, I got the time wrong, my summon circle didn't do its job, and my servant was spat out into some random room. It was far too sloppy of a ritual to summon the strongest servant, Saber. I really botched it this time.
あれだけ宝石を使っておいてセイバーじゃないなんて目も当てられない
I'll never live down failing to pull Saber after spending that many gems.
悪かったな。
Sorry, I'm not Saber.
ああそりゃ痛恨のミスだから残念だけど悪いのは私なんだから
Well, sure, it's a painful mistake, but I'm the only one who screwed up.
どうせアーチャーでは派手さに欠けるだろう。
Yeah. I bet you think Archer isn't a very attractive class.
後で今の暴言を
Alright. I'll make you eat those words. When the time comes, I won't be taking any apologies.
はい
What? What a surprise. The unidentified servant seems to be sulking. Maybe my fixation on Saber offended him.
何勘に触った
That strike a nerve, Archer?
触った。
It did.
見ている。
Just you watch.
必ず自分が
I'll show you how lucky you are to have me. Archer retorts with a sidelong glance. Well, I'll be fair. In both of the Grail Wars that we have seen in like the anime, like the Fate Stay Night and the Fate Zero, I think it was, the prequel, both the archers were fucking broken as shit. Archer retorts with a sidelong glance. He has a really spiteful air about him, but the air actually felt somehow childish and free of malice. You know, he might be a pretty decent guy.
そうねそれじゃあ必ず私
Okay.
に後悔させてあーちゃん
Make sure I regret what I said, Archer.
そうなったら素直に謝らせてもらう
I'll apologize from the bottom of my heart if so.
忘れるなよ、マスター。
Better remember that, Master. You'll be grateful once you learn how capable I am.
もっとも
Of course, an apology might not satisfy me at that point.
こちらの気は張るんだろうかな。
Archer huffs, even as his lips twist into a grin. Oh yeah, this one's got a rotten personality, all right. Fine. Anyway, you're a heroic spirit, so where's your legend originally from? Archer doesn't answer. His sardonic expression is replaced by a deepening frown.
マスターである私がサーバントである
Archer,
あなたに聞いてい
your
るの
master just asked you a question.
それは
It's a secret. What?
私がどのようなものだったか
I
は
can't tell you where I'm from because...
あのね
Hey, I'll get mad if you give me an excuse.
それは
Well... There's that face again. Archer opens and closes his mouth as if he's having trouble voicing an uncomfortable truth.
なぜかというと
Because I don't know.
自分でもわからない
Hey, what? Are you making fun of me again?
マスターを侮辱するつもりはない
I don't mean to insult you,
これは君の不完全な証拠
but it must be because of my imperfect summoning.
どうも記憶
My memories are jumbled. I know who I
が
am,
何者であるかは
but my name and origins are a haze.
事情がどうも
Still, it is invaluable information, so there's no need for concern.
気にすることはない
Of course I'm concerned.
あんたがどん
If I don't know which heroic spirit you are, then how am I supposed to know how strong you are?
そんなことは問題ではなく
And what's the problem? That's a trivial question.
さまつってあんたね相棒の強さがわからないんじゃ作戦の立てようがないでしょそんなに戦っていけるわけないじゃない
I'm down, Rin. There you go again. How am I supposed to form a strategy if I can't tell how strong my partner is? We can't fight a war like this.
何を言う私は君が呼び出したサーバ
What do you mean? I'm the servant that you summoned.
ーでないはず
Naturally. That makes me the strongest. He's so straightforward. The Crimson Knight fixes me with a gaze full of confidence and trust. Wow. I go lie. I would blush too at that one. I'm like, oh. Yeah, what? He might be on something. I'm like, no, wait, that's just more useless finally. My brain grinds to a halt. There's no deception in Archer's words. He's sincerely giving me more credit than I deserve, even though we've just met. My cheeks are burning. I'm sure I'm blushing bright red right now. Surprise attacks like this tend to be my weakness.
もういっか誰にも正体がわからないってことには変わりはないんだし
Fine.
敵を騙す
Then
のはまず
at least nobody else knows who you are. They say you have to fool your allies to fool your enemies. I turn away from Archer to hide my embarrassment. I'm sure I'll figure out in due time what sort of servant he is anyway. For now, we have other priorities.
わかったしばらくあなたの正
Okay.
体に関しては不問にしまし
I
ょう
won't ask you about your identity for the time being.
それじゃあじゃあ
And then Archer, here's your first job.
早速か降参
Jumping straight to it, are we? Guess you're an aggressive type. Where's the...
敵は
Before you can say enemy, I toss a broom and dustpan at him.
下の掃
Now
除
clean up the mess he made downstairs.
あんたが散らかしたんだから責任持ってきれいにしといてね
A few seconds pass in stunned silence. When Archer finally regains his senses, he grips the broom indignantly.
待て
Wait,
君はサーバー
what exactly do you think a servant is?
使い魔で
A familiar, right? A little uppity and hard to deal with, though.
使いに困るけど
Archer cuts himself off. I have no intention of letting him off, and if he tries to weasel out of it, I still have a card to play.
意義あり
I object. I refuse to... Are you sure?
これマスターとしての
This is a direct order from your master, but you said you'd feel weighed down if you went against me.
体が重くなるまああなたはその程度じゃどうってことないだろうけどそのペナルティは今を掃除するまで続くのよそんな状態で明日から戦っていくのは危ないじゃない
That's fucking evil. It's too bad if that's too much for you to handle. But the penalty will continue until the parlor is clean, you know. Won't that pose a risk to you when we start fighting tomorrow? He stands there for several more seconds with broom in hand, grumbling under his breath. And so, the archer in the red mantle closes his eyes.
了解した地獄に落ちる
Understood. Go to hell, master. Go to hell, master. And gracefully accepts my order. Now then, It's getting late, so I should rest. I can decide how to deal with him once I wake up. A fateful day draws to a close. No, rather my fate was shaped by this night. That makes 6, including me. Once the 7th and final master summons their servant, the Holy Grail War of this generation will begin in the not-so-distant future. The battle I've been waiting 10 long years for is about to commence. Cutscene. Prologue over. 2, 1. February 1st. The Holy Grail War. It's a grand ritual that's been repeated for hundreds of years. Ugh. Holy shit. 2.5 hours still in the prologue. It's a grand ritual that's been repeated for hundreds of years. Okay. I severely underestimated my ability to yap and talk and say words on and repeat for a long amount of time. So it's a little bit early than what I was expecting. I was expecting to do like 3 hours, and this is like 2.5. But I'm gonna end stream here. I'm gonna my mouth. Yeah, safe. I'll do 2. I'll continue this next Sunday. And I don't know when I will finish Fate. But tomorrow I'll play some Boomer Shoot. And I'll just be messing around then. I would like to get some food, chill out for a bit. So, yeah. That's good. Now that I'm kind of done with that, I can let the yawns out now. Bye bye. Bye bye. Get some food. Dun, 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 dun.